Hi girls!
Hi Lucy!
Today we're going to be talking about child abuse. Maya, what do you have to say about child abuse?
Well, I personally think that it's really wrong and inappropriate. Some parents give their children out at the age of 10, 8, 7 to be made at other people's home, while some send their children out to hawk in the streets. It's really wrong. I for one think that all children should get the respect they need.
True. Children need to be given a good sense of belonging in the society.
I personally think that it's not proper to abuse children because they are the future leaders of tomorrow.
Well, I really don't like it when people abuse children in Nigeria. Do you know, some parents send their children to hawk on the streets, not minding that they can be in danger of hit down by a vehicle.
It's true. I actually saw a child of 7 years old doing mechanic work.
That's weird.
I've never seen a 7-year-old doing mechanic work.
How the child go to school and both be doing mechanic work? The government needs to do something about this.
And the thing is that the parents don't even care.
They're just sending
Their children up and down to go and get money. That's really
bad.
That's not right.
Do you know, some parents even sell them just for money.
That's really
Like,
bad.
How can they? I know, it's really weird. That's just for money.
I'm going to read a tweet from David, and he said, "This is not fair. This is not fair. Children are being abused. More than 20% of the children in Nigeria are not in school. The government needs to do something about it."
This is a tweet from Jack, and he says, "What is government doing about the children who are begging on the streets?"
Also, I'm going to read a tweet from Tade.
And she says, "Government should make a provision where children can get food instead of begging on the road."
Yes, because the children have to be respected. They have to be respected.
Well, I think that maybe, just maybe, the parents don't have any money to pay for their school fees.
Then they can send them to government school. It's free, you know.
It's true. Some government schools need to pay for them.
But it's affordable. Government schools are affordable.
Even though you need to pay for it.
It's still affordable. It's not that expensive.
Right now we're on the streets of Abalende. It is one of the most populated streets in Lagos. As you can see, a lot of activities are going on right now, and we're going to be asking people a couple of questions about child abuse. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about child abuse.
Oh, that's great.
What do you think child abuse is generally?
Child abuse is when you give children what is not proper by giving them duty that is illegal to them. What you are meant for is to train your children, not to be giving them duty when they are at child stage. Because you are supposed to give them the education they want right from that beginning of their life, not to suffer them. Sending them to school, give them what they want, buy them whatever they ask for them to be happy. That is what they are for. They are not to be sent or given duty unnecessarily.
So what do you think it's proper to see a child of 7 years old being a maid in the house?
It's very wrong. When you make your child is made in another person's house, you enslave the child. When you enslave a child, you put that child into danger that is not supposed to encounter in his life or her life. Because somebody that is not giving birth to someone can misuse that person. If you are the owner of your children, you will love him and you won't give him an insult to the extent that you will now go and be serving somebody. Instead, when you are not capable of giving a childbirth, you should deviate from that line, pending the time God will give you that capacity to do it.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions about child abuse.
Okay, no problem. I'm ready.
First question, do you think it's proper for a child at the age of 7 to be doing mechanic works?
Being to the situation of in Nigeria today, I would say it is good and it is not good. The reason why it is good is because of future. Because in Nigeria today, when a child goes to school, after schooling, there is no work in Nigeria. So he can use that to help him or herself for financial purpose. And it is not good because it does not encourage a child. The child will be exposed to illegal things they shouldn't be exposed to, and there won't be monitoring, there won't be mother care, there won't be parental care. So it is not good.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
My name is MC Money.
Okay. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about child abuse.
Okay, no problem. You're free.
But what is child abuse?
See, I don't understand. What do you say?
What is child abuse generally?
Well, to me, child abuse generally is actually what's trending about, in the sense that in a situation where we have little kid undergoing what the adult is undergoing, and which is not proper for our country, Nigeria in general.
Okay. So do you think it's proper for a child of 7 years old to be a maid?
Actually, it's not proper for a child of 7 years old to be a maid. But you see, the situation of this country, actually, it's actually causing a lot of havoc in terms of from the presidential level to the House of Assembly that has turned comedy nowadays. So, in most cases, they need to do some things to eradicate poverty. When poverty is being eradicated, child abuse will be reduced. So, all these things are actually done due to condition for the parents and some other things they go through. That's why I find their child doing some other things they're not supposed to be doing. So, but child abuse is not proper, as in, is not normal.
True. Just one last question. Who are the people that actually abuse children the most?
The most, right? The people that abuse children the most. The people who abuse children the most are actually, number one, let's start from the guardians. Guardians abuse in terms of molestation, they do that. Apart from the guardians, like 45% of parents as well that came from the poor background, they also abuse as well. Just like what you talked about earlier on, a child of 7 going to be a mechanic and all those things, which is not proper. So, in most cases, the guardians, so I will just advise the parent to make sure they look at their child to avoid all this kind of little calamity trending in our society. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.